Today is the day that I ride the e-bike in the mountains for the first time, and I am super excited about this. Yesterday my son Dawson rode it and I watched him effortlessly go up the hills like it was nothing, and he really enjoyed it. So today is my turn. I'm gonna go ride Stanley Gap, and if you're familiar with Stanley Gap, some of those climbs are pretty brutal on a regular bike. How are they gonna do in the e-bike? Let's go find out. I'm starting off in eco mode, partly so I can get warmed up. A little chilly this morning, about 34 degrees. It's warming up quickly though. Also, I just want to kind of see how the modes progress. I don't want to jump all the way up to turbo right in the beginning. So we got some steep single track coming up right here. So eco mode right now, it seems to me that it's just a little bit easier than my normal mountain bike. Switched over to tour mode. There's a big difference between tour and eco. This is not going to be a real long ride for me today. Actually, I may get back over here later on this afternoon on my regular bike. So I'm probably going to use EMTB mode for most of it. If I got the motor, I might as well use it. Yeah, tour mode's good. Fairly effortless compared to my regular bike. Always hard to see elevation grade on a GoPro, but this is pretty steep. I'm usually breathing really hard by now on my regular bike. Uh-oh, tree down, dang it. Might be using the walk assist mode on this guy. All right, so now I've switched over to EMTB mode, which I think is where I'm going to keep it for most of the time. And this is a pretty steep section right here. Oh my gosh. This could spoil me in about 5 minutes. This pitch is so steep right here. I'm just flying up it. The biggest challenge right now is not slipping the rear tire out on the leaves when I'm trying to get over some roots on a steep climb. There's a couple sections on this trail that are really hard to make on a regular bike. Most of this trail is rideable, but there are a couple sections that I've only made a few times. One of them I think I've only made once. All right, here's one of the sections. No problem. It's just, that's a kind of like a timing issue with the pedals on that one, because there's two big roots and it's hard to time your pedals right. I think the last time I did that, I was on the transition spur and I made it. So there's been plenty of times where I haven't been able to make it. Yeah, that was no problem on the e-bike. All right, I'm coming up to a section that I think I've only cleaned one time. And ironically, it was on, I think, the first generation RIP 9. We'll see if I can make it on the e-bike. I think I can. Couple lines you can take here. Let's go straight. Take the more challenging one. Oh, no problem. Yeah, that was the harder line too. Nice. All right, now descending, and I unfortunately have to be super careful on these leaves because they are dry, slippery, and there's a ton of them. I almost slid off the trail back there. I did what was, I thought, a normal break, and I just kept sliding on these leaves. So this is a lot slower than I normally go. And this thing just carries so much momentum. It's crazy. Like, you gotta brake earlier than you would on a normal bike. Well, the walk assist mode, unfortunately, is getting used a lot right now because there are so many trees down up here. I was here in September and none of these trees were down, so there must have been a crazy storm. This is the third tree I've had to walk around like this. Dude, this sucks. It's almost like a tornado came through here. I can't even see where the trail goes from here. Oh, there it is. I can go under this tree. All right, this is the last one of it. If I hit another one, I'm done. I'm just gonna go try another trail. Oh my gosh. All right, we're done. Another trail. At least I did the really steep part of Stanley Gap climb to see what the e-bike was like. This really sucks. I'm gonna go do Flat Creek and Green Mountain Trail. All right, now I switched over to turbo mode. You gotta like have your hands on the handlebars when you start pedaling in turbo mode because it'll like shoot forward. EMTB mode's a little bit more progressive. I tell you, getting this thing up and over logs, or even with walk assist, when there's all kind of leaves and stuff you got to get around when you're walking around those trees, there's some logistics issues with an e-bike that you got to consider. I mean, it takes some muscle to pick this thing up. Leaf surfing, the new sport. Oh, I gotta be careful, man. My bike's just sliding all over the place. So I was just talking to a lady back there, and she said there was indeed a bad storm here about 3 weeks ago, and she said normally the leaves are not off the trees this early, and she thinks that's why they're all off the trees like this. Because I came here a couple years ago in November, and I don't ever remember the leaves being this plentiful on the trail. Yeah, you know, another thing about this bike right now is we have tubes in the tires, and so I pumped up the tires about 5 psi more than I normally run, and right now I'm wishing they were tubeless with lower pressures because the wheels are just skipping on these rocks that I can't really see under the leaves. How's it going?
Good.
Good. Y'all come around.
Oh,
You come around, yeah. Come on through, dude. You're climbing. You come on through. It's all right. This is the most people I've ever seen on this trail. But it's a beautiful fall day and it's Saturday, so it's to be expected. Everybody's talking about all the leaves on the trail. That guy back there called them camo leaves because you just can't see the trail. And this trail has a lot of just little rocks that go off in all kind of angles. And I'm just trying to ride loose so the bike can skip around when it needs to. Doesn't throw me off. This climb isn't quite as steep and it's a lot more wide open. Coming on your right. Coming around you. Coming around you. Headphones.
Sorry.
Didn't mean to mess up her groove. Anyway, oh my gosh, I've never seen this many people on this trail. All right, so this trail's more wide open. So I'm cruising up it. 14 to 18 miles an hour. How's it going? So I noticed like back there was a tree down and it was kind of hard to get around it, but I'm starting to trust this bike, what it can do as far as the motor, you know, getting over stuff. So that'll wrap up this video of my first time riding an e-bike in the mountains. What I'm going to do is my son Dawson rode the e-bike the day before I rode it in the mountains. And we're going to have a little conversation style video where he and I sit and talk about what we think about the e-bike, riding it in the mountains versus a traditional bike. So that's coming up. I didn't want this video to get too long. So that'll wrap it up for this one. Thanks for watching.